I'm gonna tell you a story, but the first thing I have to say is time does work the way you think it does. You call me wrong, I was dying to walk the call. Alright, now we are continuing in our list of in the Antichrist um reference series in terms of people who have claimed to be Jesus or have had other people claim to be Jesus. Now, we have moved into the 20th century for this. Probably going to do a third video on 21st century because the 20th century is like a pretty long segment. Important note on some of these. Some of these actually can't qualify as Antichrist. We'll cover those ones specifically. But we have John Hugh Smith Peugeot. Around 1890, Smith Peugeot started leading meetings with the Agapamonite community and recruited 50 young female followers, supplements aging population. He took Ruth Ann Priest as his second wife. She had 3 children named Glory, Power, and Hallelujah. Wow. The house, which may have belonged to Smith Peugeot in St. John's Wood, was visited by John Benjamin in his fifth Metroland. Oh, and his film Metroland is built in the neo-Gothic style. Is currently the home of the television presenter Vanessa Fights, and was previously home of Charles Saatchi. Smith Peugeot died in 1927, and the sect gradually declined until the last member, Sister Ruth, died in 1956. Her funeral in 1956 was the only time when outsiders were admitted to the chapel. Yeah, he had his whole own little cult too. Like, it's very common for, like, that might be an indication that he's actually an Antichrist because he had his own cult. Like, people who have pull out, like, people worshiping them as the second coming. It's usually not a great sign. Not a great sign for Smith Peugeot. Manuel Herrick, American politician who saw himself as the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, thus gained the nickname Okie Jesus Congressman. That's really funny. That is hilarious. Haile Selassie, definitely not an Antichrist, and this is why. Did not claim to be Jesus and disapproved of claims that he was Jesus. Very solid on Haile Selassie's part. But the Rastafari movement, which emerged in Jamaica during the 1930s, believes he is the second coming. He embodied this when he became the Emperor of Ethiopia in 1930, preceded as confirmation of the return of the Messiah in the prophetic book of Revelation in the New Testament, who is also expected to initiate the Apocalyptic Day of Judgment. He's also called Jah Rastafari and is often considered to be allied by Rastafari movement members. Actually, this may be why specifically I'm so convinced that the Holy Grail is in Ethiopia in that one specific church. There's actually like this like rumor or like this thing on the internet where there's like this one specific church in Ethiopia where the Holy Grail is. I don't know. I buy into it. Don't be naughty with that. Hilario Mancato, 1898 to 1956, a Filipino political activist and mystic. He was founder and leader of the Filipino Crusaders World Army, formerly Filipino Federation of America, a religious patriotic group in the Philippines colloquially known as Moncandistas. He claims to be reincarnation of Christ through Jose Rizal, a national hero of the Philippines. That's interesting. A reincarnation of Christ through a national hero. That's fascinating. Huh. Ernest Norman, an American electrical engineer who co-founded the Unarius Academy of Science in 1954. He was allegedly Jesus in a past life, and his earthly incarnation was an archangel named Raphael. Interesting. He claimed to be the incarnation of other notable figures, including Confucius, Mona Lisa, Benjamin Franklin, Socrates, Queen Elizabeth I, Tsar Peter I the Great. You ever notice when someone claims to be a reincarnation of, like, someone famous? Like, it's a very common thing, and especially, like, when they do, they have, like, a whole list. Like a whole list. And it never includes, like, a bunch of, like, randos. Like, dung shoveler number 3. Because, like, I know, I had to have had some dung shoveler number 3s in my time. Like, everyone has. That's just how that works. Krishna Venta, 1911 to 1958. Born Francis Herman Benkovic in San Francisco. Founded the WKFL, Wisdom, Knowledge, Faith, and Love Foundation. The World Cult in Simi Valley, California, in late 1940s. See, he founded a cult. In 1948, he was started that he was Christ, the new Messiah, and claimed to have led a convoy of rocket ships to Earth from the extinct planet Neophrades. Oh, that is a good one. That's borderline Scientology right there. He died 10 December 1958 after being suicide bombed by two disgruntled former followers who accused Benta of mishandling cult funds and having been intimate with their wives. Oh my lord. Krishna Venta. That's what happens when you run a cult and then you get fast and loose, not only with the money, but with your followers' wives. Shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. If you're making a cult, any cult, you shouldn't be playing fast and loose with your followers' wives. It's ironic that that is like my lead into this and considering what I'm saying. But it's not like I'm trying to get at any of y'all's wives. So like there's that. Anyway, Jesu Oyingbo, 1915 to 1988, a Nigerian man who proclaimed himself to be Jesus Christ returned. An Sing-hong, 1918 to 1985, South Korean who founded the World Mission Society Church of God in 1964, recognized him as the second coming of Jesus. World Mission Society Church of God teaches that Zhang Gijia is the God Mother, and they explain his reference in the Bible into Jerusalem Mother, and that An Sung-hong is God the Father. Sun Myung Moon, 1920 to 2012. Oh, passed relatively recently, in the past like 20 years. Believed by members of the Unification Church, the Messiah and second coming of the Christ, fulfilling Jesus' unfinished mission. Church members, Unificationists, consider Sung Myung Moon and his wife Hak Sha Han to be true parents of humankind as restored Adam and Eve. And Hamilton Byrne, 1921 to 2019, passed more recently, of the family, both Evelyn Grace born Evelyn Grace Victoria Edwards. I don't know who the family. Wait a minute, I might know who the family is. Oh, okay. I might know those. I'll look them up for later. Jim Jones. Oh, Jim Jones. Wow, I didn't know Jim Jones was on this list. Jim Jones, 1931 1980, founder of People's Temple, which started as an offshoot of the mainstream Protestant sect before becoming a personality cult. As time went on, 1970, claimed to be reincarnated Jesus, Akhenaten, the Buddha, Vladimir Lenin, and Father Divine. Oh, Vladimir Lenin, too. That's interesting. He organized a mass murder-suicide at Jonestown, Guyana, in 18 November 1978. He shot himself after the murders were done. James Jones, the Jonestown Massacre. Wow. I actually hadn't realized that Jonestown was about a second coming cult. Now I do. Dang. Bad on you, James Jones. I'm just saying. Marshall Applewhite, 1931. You know what? This list is going on for a bit, and this video's gotten long. Apparently, I'll be getting to the second half of the 20th century, or like second half of the second century. Let's move on. Oh, wow. You know what? I'll end on this one. Charles Manson, 1934 to 2017. Oh, wow. Charles Manson died. I hadn't realized Charles Manson died. Wow. He died like 8 years ago. I also didn't realize Charles Manson thought he was the second coming, or claimed to be the second coming of Christ. Wow. Wow. I read a little bit of Helter Skelter. It wasn't an easy read. I didn't finish it. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.